What's up, guys? I want to do a quick unboxing of the DJI RS5, and I want to compare it to the SC2 that I've had and I bought a couple years ago. And really what I'm focusing on here is not the specs and performance. You can look up the weights, the features, and things like that, but I want to just show the immediate differences, that how they've made improvements on the actual physical product. I think that's helpful for a lot of folks out there, cinematographers and run and gun shooters. And so there's a lot of different components that I'm going to, in real time, share with you. I just unboxed it and I want to give you my first look. The thing that I actually noticed immediately is that if you look at some of the older stands, the tripod here that screws onto the bottom, it comes with the product when you unbox it, is that this, you hear that noise? Is one of my biggest pet peeves on job sites. This moves around. Well, I think they took that feedback and they immediately applied it. So see, that stays positioned and it doesn't move. So they put in there some resistance so that way it's not bouncing around. That's improvement number one. Number two is that they really upgraded the actual bracket here. So it's a little bit shorter, but it's slightly taller, you can see, just by a little bit. Yeah, actually, now that I'm looking at them, they're pretty even, but it feels taller. And I think it's based on here, what's actually going on with the lift. And so what they've done is I think they've shrunken it down and made it more concise is the best way that I can put it. Everything seems tighter, which if you understand the gimbals and weight differentials, like that's actually better if everything's tight and closer together. And I think that's what they tried to accomplish here. And so the old one had basically the screw that would come up in the middle and it was intact here. And then had this lock brace on the back and then a safety button and then a slider. And then it has a little plastic thing that you could use to balance the lens. I took mine off because it was more of a burden, and it looks like they have an optional one here too, but it's not really on there. So people probably did the same thing. Still has the same lock button that you had before. One of the main differences, though, you can see there's these rivets on the bottom, and that's because now here on the new one, you can actually dial in more precise, which is good because once it's on there, if you've unlocked it and tried to slide it around before, it's not like it's a big deal, but sometimes you just need those little tiny movements to help it balance better. And I think that's a big advantage. So they still have the locking mechanisms all around. This clicks onto the bottom here. I'm actually not sure how to take it off quite yet. There's a locking mechanism, but clips on, locks in immediately. I think this, there you go. Actually pretty easier here on this dial. So you just tap that and this just slides on. So if you need to dismantle for travel, which is something I never did with my other one, I felt like it was kind of more complex to take this off. Maybe it's not, but I don't see, yeah, well, this one just bends in half. That's kind of how that works. So that's the difference, right? So before, and again, I love this other one. I've done a ton of projects, but this is what you would get before. Just kind of bend in half, right? It's not like unclipping from the bottom. Where this one, they've made it where you can now just totally modularly break that down and fit it in a bag much better because it's the length that would take up. And you can see this one by size comparison, the new one, the RS5 is slightly bigger. You have some manual adjustments here. But then there's a lot of auto features built in. I'll let you look that up. It has the auto lock features compared to this one. And then the uptime. And then you can see a lot bigger screen here than previously before. I'm sure the settings reflect that. And then one thing that I was disappointed with, and it's just my lack of doing the research, but if you're like me, you see the marketing video and you assume, it doesn't come with the advanced light module, and it doesn't come with the briefcase handle, which the briefcase handle adds on so you can kind of carry it lower. So those are two different things you have to buy after you spend about $600. I think the CS2 is going for about half the price right now, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's a great option for many people, but I'm constantly trying to upgrade the smoothness of my shots for run and gun and different client projects. What I love is these new dials they have. So even here you can see there's the notches and then there's a dial so you can get that gimbal right where you need it to be. That becomes an issue when you're shooting and you're either putting on a heavier lens or swapping out lenses. So the faster you can do that. Another attribute is that there is a kind of power supply here that lights up. I think the battery's dead on this one right now, but it will show you how high up the battery is. And then you have your charge port down here at the bottom. So there's the LED, so you can see the charge here at the bottom. And then the other one was just kind of on the side here. So You can set up on a stand, maybe have a shorter cord. Again, these screw on and screw off, these bases, just so you're aware, which is, I'm constantly doing that for packing and traveling. If you try to shoot without this at the bottom, it makes the leverage much more difficult unless you have that briefcase handle. So I'm always bringing this. If I ever forgot it, it would be a little bit of a nightmare. And I think I've experienced that before. It's just twice the work. So that really gives you a lot of leverage. But other than that, most things are kind of the same. You have the different locks, so things could slide and change. You now have these dial-ins and dial-outs. I had a lot of success, and I've done a ton of projects with this, the CS2. Yeah, CS2 or SC2, excuse me. And really enjoyed it. It does have some of those dials that you can basically, they're there, there's not on a track that you could slide and things like that, and it worked well. I did feel like with the previous one, I was recalibrating quite a bit, but that I was also switching up lens and gears and probably testing the weight because I was using a Z7 or Z8, excuse me, there with the racket and stuff like that. So it's kind of heavy where I'm moving up to this larger size, and I think that will be more helpful for some of the shoots that we do. But this is just a side-by-side comparison, so you can see the foot plate is nice. It comes with a small charging cable cord, which many of you guys have lots of, two different screw bases depending on how you're going to use the bottom. One looks like it's more fixed, and then a little bracket for the front as well if you want to screw that on to hold your lens up. I always would take mine off, but it could be good if you have a longer lens, and that way just is balancing so it's not shaking around on your shot. But all in all, excited to test out the new features that are here for tracking and whatnot. And then also probably going to upgrade to the briefcase and then the handle and then the lighting module just to help support the overall capture of content. I would say about that is it's a bummer that you're spending that price because you're thinking now it's a few $100s more than even what this is currently going at as a new product. But you could tell they've refined it. They've made it look higher end, some of the different things that I see here. And I'm excited to give it a go and test it out in the field. I already know it's going to be substantially better based on the build quality I'm seeing here. And then even some of the things that I was like, hey, man, I wish I could upgrade this. Well, they've done that. And I think the larger screen will make it easier to be able to choose your settings on the fly and on the go. I love the battery life is about 14 hours for this one. I can't remember the previous one, but generally I could get through an entire day and a half shooting with this, depending on how often you had it on or off. I always would try to shut it down without using. The new one, the RS5 is supposed to have that kind of quick start on it, which I'm excited to test out. So this review is an unboxing and comparison. So any of you guys that are thinking about upgrading, just looking at the differences in the build quality, I think it's worth it from that perspective, especially when these are still fetching a few $100s if you want to offboard that and then bring on a new piece. And then you can also plan on those new features and then the accessories that go with it to have a better kit. So people that are in real estate, traveling through architecture, it's so important to have all those different things. So I hope this review is helpful for you as you're kind of selecting what you want, but those are my 2 cents kind of comparison and looking at them side by side and where the physical features that have been added or changed and updated. And I think it'll be really a good addition to your kit as it has been mine. And I'll bring you more reviews on the actual product shots that I'm getting and testing in the field and how it goes. So thanks so much. Cheers.